Welcome to another episode of the Building Bridges Gateway program, coming to you from A9 TV, beautiful city Istanbul. Our goal is to bring peace, love and brotherhood to all mankind, regardless faith, race or nationality. Today we have another very distinguished guest, and I let my friend Oktar to introduce him now.
Our distinguished guest is Dr. Thomas UTHUP. He's a Senior Research Associate, Institute of Global Cultural Studies, Binghamton University. He is also founder and president, Friends of United Nations Alliance of Civilizations, which promotes good practices in governance of cultural diversity, intercultural education, interfaith relations, migrant integration, and youth empowerment. He previously served as Research and Education Manager for the United Nations Alliance of Civilizations project, where he coordinated research networks and education projects, represented the Alliance at appropriate meetings, and provided inputs for senior UN officials and on cultural issues. Dr. UTHUP's academic focus has been on the complex relationships between culture and society, with special attention to religious factors, especially Islam, affecting political behavior. Dr. UTHUP has published well over 90 newspaper, journal, and reference articles. Dr. UTHUP has taught in Binghamton University, New York, and the College of Wooster, Ohio, and been a guest lecturer in the classes of Oberlin College, Ohio, and Cornell University, New York. His media experience also includes serving as a panelist on National Public Radio's Talk of the Nation and several television interviews. Current research interests for Dr. UTHUP include South Asian and Middle Eastern politics, culture, religion and politics, and global mobility in the education arena. He has also worked as a fundraiser and administrator at Syracuse University, New York, and Oberlin College, Ohio, and has been a grant evaluator for the Federal Corporation for National and Community Service. Dr. UTHUP, welcome. It's a pleasure and honor to have you.
Thank you.
And Jerry, you're welcome also.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good to be here.
Now, Dr. UTHUP, we will have some questions for you. Shall we start?
Very good.
Yeah.
All right.
Hi, Dr. Thomas. Welcome to our program. Hi, Jerry. Also, you too, inshallah. I would like to ask you, Dr. UTHUP, you have done a great deal of work for interfaith dialogue and Alliance of Civilization. Can you tell us about your work more, please?
Yes, in the Alliance of Civilizations, I was involved with mainly setting up a project called the Education About Religions and Beliefs. This was a project that had an online resource for school teachers from around the world so that they could look at curricular syllabus guidelines in teaching about religions. For the UN Alliance of Civilizations, what is very important was that people just from primary and secondary school level start to learn about different faiths, because knowledge is one of the first aspects of being able to understand and respect each other. Knowledge does not mean that one is indoctrinated into a religion, but that one just knows why people believe in what they believe in, and we deliberately use the formulation of education about religions and beliefs because we as a UN organization recognized that we could not dictate exactly what was taught and how it was taught. So whether you are teaching about different religions in the history department or through geography or through social studies, it did not matter. What mattered was that you did teach about different people. I also followed very closely religious issues for the UN Alliance because I have an academic background in the area. So I often was involved with bringing together groups from different religions, working with the Committee of Religious NGOs at the UN. And in the last couple of years was very actively involved also in promoting the World Week of Interfaith Harmony. This is in the first week of February that was declared the World Week of Interfaith Harmony by the United Nations General Assembly.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate your work, actually, your struggle. And Jerry, can you comment on the works of Mr. UTHUP, please? Dr. UTHUP?
Well, I was actually sitting here doing some reading, and I was really interested and we'll get into it later, but some of Huntington's work. And the thing that really interests me is that with the works that he is doing, he gets to see a lot of all of the world's cultures. And this is really interesting because a lot of people, I think, try to dismiss the differences between cultures, or they try to bring them up as a problem between cultures. So I think a lot of the work that he is doing is really exemplary in trying to get people to understand each other. That's something which we try to do ourselves on our shows. So I think overall, I think this is going to be a really good show because his work and our work really kind of tie in together in different areas, but on the same line.
Yes.
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 I think I should mention that I am now with the Friends of the UN Alliance of Civilizations, where I'm using social media to promote those good practices in all of these areas that I mentioned, including interfaith areas, so that people know. I think one of the areas that the media sometimes tends to ignore is where people are working together across different cultures on common goals, or they're coming together to work for peace. Often the media tends to focus when different cultures clashing with each other.